Welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show. We do it in 4 quarters, and we're in the last one, and we've got to hurry, 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 just like they do on all of the football games, basketball games, NASCAR races. It's the last 50 laps. I said, if you can watch the last 50 laps of NASCAR, you've probably seen the most interesting part of the race.
And I'm going to jump on the sponsors right here. We're going to start with, how about Dixie Storage? All your storage needs, personal and commercial. You can put your big RV and boats in some. You can just rent a little small closet-sized unit to put a handful of things from around your house. Maybe you're a business that want to leave some of your parts there, maybe some of your tools there so your workers can get to it, get out. Very secure buildings with locations in Port Barry-Opolis and Washington. They do full-blown warehouses if you need that as well. Railroad spur access as well. They've got a trucking company to move inventory around for you and do inventory control for you. And their sister company is A+ Glass with locations in Lafayette and in Opelousas, where they can help you with all your personal and commercial glass needs, car inspections, and 18-wheel inspections as well. And more sponsors here. Let's go with Piggly Wiggly. We've been talking about Breakfast with Santa, and of course, Piggly Wiggly, a huge sponsor of the Breakfast with Santa. Piggly Wiggly with 2 locations in Opelousas, 1 in Simsport. Go by. Just, man, I made a big beef stew again. With that cold weather, man, I like to eat my stews, and I had a big beef stew. I got the cube beef meat over there with some potatoes and some carrots, and I got my onions and my rice and my roux. You know, sometimes I make my hand roux, but sometimes that jaw roux is just a little bit quicker when you're in a rush. So I got to do all that, got all that at Piggly Wiggly. Go by, great selection. You know, it's Christmas time. Maybe you want to get some of their nice stuffed meats to send back with family.
We have one more. Why don't we get Steamboat? We've already talked about Jason.
Is our last one. And Steamboat Warehouse, get mom away from the smell of her own cooking. Go by Washington, Louisiana. Go to Steamboat Warehouse. Great atmosphere, wonderful seafood, crawfish, catfish, great steaks, wine selection second to none, adult libations. Beautiful place right there on the bayou. You can sit outside on the back porch and just relax. They've got the little heaters outside in the wintertime where you can stay warm while you warm up with some of that liquid warmth and go inside, have a nice meal, and sit back with the wife. Beautiful place, great atmosphere. That is Steamboat Warehouse.
Okay, I want to make a mention that Mr. Joe Smith with Joe Smith Furniture is having a closing out sale, and he called me to tell me that he was sorry he missed the breakfast. He says, I missed the date on it, but he says, your check, I've got your check for you, Bobby. I said, well, thank you very much. And of course, after 55 years of being in business, he wants to thank his customers, and he's got rock bottom. Everything's got to go from wall to wall, and it's a big, big building. And that from mattresses all the way to refrigerators and everything in between that you need inside your house. He's got it available. And he says you might want to tell others too that it's not too late to send that check for the Santa breakfast. And
that's right. P.O. Box 70, Opelousas, Louisiana. You can send us a donation to Breakfast with Santa.
And I just want to mention something a little bit almost unusual, but I get a lot of Christmas cards, but I get one every year that I guess you could say outstanding. And of course, this year they went even further. It's more detailed. It's a fold type Christmas card. Beautiful pictures, and I'm speaking of the pictures of Pat and Alice Morrow. Yeah, Morrow, yeah. Morrow. I'm trying to...
Stick it for a minute.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the OW and the EAU.
Right.
Of the Morrows we were talking about a few minutes ago. The other Morrows. But anyhow, Pat and Alice, thank you very much for having me on that special mailing list every year.
And if you're trying to get some, if you want to go see Noël Acadien au Village, that's the lit up village there, the Acadian Village in Lafayette. If you text the word Noel, N-O-E-L, to the phone number 64636, you can win a family 4-pack of tickets. Go for it. And how about what? Good. More photos? More photos. Let's whip through them fast here. We got Reverend Reedbeck, and I see that right? Reedbeck and his wife from Hope Presbyterian, and I see Dirk Onderpont there as well. And of course, our chefs were talking with everybody at the event.
We've already named them a few times.
Yep, and I'm whipping through all of these photos. I see some of the LAC group folks in the background, Lindsay Lee. I see Mr. Julius Alcindor, one of the councilmen, walking around helping and serving. Father Brady, of course, gave the said the grace before the meal, which was very, very nice, and everybody was having a good time, and I'm whipping through. I'm gonna keep whipping through these photos. Oh, but back up. That's Travis Richard with Community Coffee. We talked about Travis earlier. Good morning, Mr. Lubert, his dad.
Yep, his daddy. Good morning. He tried reaching me last week, and I was in Winfield and couldn't get the reception.
There's Don Stemmons, of course, again with Stemmons.
Oh, that's 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have to send him a bill.
And there's Connor again. Of course, we've watched Connor grow up, and that's him with his driver's license there that he's recently gotten. So you can see with the therapy, you can change a child's life. I mean,
yeah.
he's out
that's
there
one that
everything.
We've seen changed.
That's right. And here we go. We got our own buddy Dwayne and Miss Dot. And I saw Dwayne just recently received the Bishop's Medal. I want to congratulate him. He's been a server for Mass at Queen of Angels, I guess. I bet it's 20 years plus,
he and his mama spent a lot of hours every week.
Yeah, and he came to the men's mass with us. We had a men's mass at Valentin Hall. Father Brady was the celebrant Tuesday night. I want to thank everybody who came out. Had a great group. And come January, we're going to have a men's mass, probably be at Bobby Dupre's outdoor kitchen.
There you
as
go.
part of our maybe our retreat group meeting. We may try to have the little mass with the retreat group guys.
Whatever.
See what happens.
It's a good idea.
We'll try to do it. Yeah. So anyway, there y'all are with Dwayne, and then there's our buddies from Alexandria, Barry Mitchell
on the right, and then his niece Andrea Mitchell and his brother Stuart, and the other one looks like Barry. That must be Barry's brother.
I don't know who it is. I didn't get introduced.
I didn't either. I'm sorry, guys.
There's our chefs all working. I even see Coach Battle in the background from Westminster there working. So we got the whole big crew. And there's brother Cody and Ryan Duplasham, my cousin, and Miss Vicky. And running around is Randy. There's Judge Daugherty. He's hugging a potential future voter. I tell you, those politicians, they work them young. Good morning, Judge Daugherty. Glad to have seen you at the event again. And there you are with one of the Wagleys. And we've got Mr. Jim Lopez, Mr. Jarrell again. We got Don Stanford. I mean, everybody was working. There's Freddie working the crowd. There is Jason Mesh, attorney here in Annapolis with Dirk Boudreau. There's 2 of our friends from Mid-South Bank, Mr. Sibley on the left, and we got...
Not Mid-South, FM Bank.
FM Bank, excuse me, yes.
You know, it's Farmers and Merchants, but it's also Fred Mills.
Fred and Mills, that's what I thought it was, Fred and Mills. Good morning, guys. How are y'all this morning?
Thank y'all for the nice donation.
Yes,
and good luck to you all. I asked them, I said, how is it working with Fred Mills? I said, all his clowning that takes place, they said, he doesn't clown around, but it's a fun atmosphere.
He's a character. And then there's my cousin Heidi Stanford with Baby Jack. That come every year, and of course they get therapy over at the clinic as well, and just folks walking around, milling around all around the country club, showing how nice the country club is. If you need a place, go by the Indian Hills Country Club. Greg Doucette, attorney here in town, working tables. There's our friend Kendall Broussard with Timeline Builders,
my
your partner.
Business partner, right.
And there's Coach Baton with Westminster, working the crowd. And then there's Charles Goen and Jade with you again there. Nice close-up of them. And there is our buddy Major again. And then there is Judge Daugherty and Pat Morrow and you. That's a group.
That's a strong group.
And it's one of the kids who gets therapy at the clinic. And then there is the High Sheriff with Sherry McGovern, his Chief Civil Deputy from the Sheriff's Department. And then over on the left, Miss Celeste Gomez and her husband there with you, of course, who does tourism for the parish.
She heads up Santa Ana Parish tourism.
You got it. And we got Chad Bello there again. And of course, with Coach Armin Castile, who always helps bring him to these events when Ray is working. So fantastic guy. And there's Perry Fontenot, principal over at Opposite Catholic School, and we've got Mr. Dale on the left, and we got Tommy Tate over on the right, athletic director, former football star at Port Barry and McNeese.
We'll just hold it there just for a minute, just 1 minute. You
Go
can
ahead.
Put it on the...
I got it. You can show us again while we talk about this.
It was in the newspaper, I guess either Sunday or Monday, where Mr. Coach Jordan, who headed up he was the head coach over at Opelousas Catholic, turned in his resignation. I think it was Friday, and he said it was nothing personal. Everything was smooth. He enjoyed his time coaching the young men. There was a good group of people to work with, and the kids were good. They were very attentive and trying to learn skills, but he had an opportunity offered in Point Capee, and Ray Oquin who hails from over here, married May DeVille's daughter. I can't think of her name. She,
Me too.
She worked for the company.
Pretty little brunette that worked with us for years.
She worked with us. And Ray is the head coach over there, so he knows what he's going to. They had a bad record, but they're going to be turning it around. And you know, a lot of coaches like that challenge of turning it around. You see it on college level and the professional level, the same thing.
You got it. Okay, so let's kick back and we'll run through them fast. You're showing the crowd running around. I see Jude Morrow in the background with 911, and I see some of the Sheriff's Department folks, and Miss Jenny in the crowd there. There's Coach Armin and his lovely wife,
Miss Sue.
And we've got Santa talking to the crowd. Santa talks a little bit sometimes. And I'm going to keep cruising through. And that's Miss Cindy Vaillant with the homestead, who's helping with coffee and mimosas.
She was my queen when we were the
Mardi Gras.
King and Queen, Mardi Gras, and Frank's Fast, what was the name of it? Half Fast Crew.
That's right. We'll have to see that carefully. Doug Sandals at 100 Point Printing in the background. I see Jimmy Dozat, who's our director over at the Retreat House. Here we got Curtis Cecil. I won't say Curtis.
Cecil Dupre.
You got it.
Made those beautiful
signs and
all
wood carvings
with computer, all 3D computer programming.
Right.
And we're going to go visit him and check that out.
Some of the ladies over with 911. Miss Candace used to work with us over at the office as well. And there we've got my cousin, Phyllis Stanford, running around. I think she rode her motorcycle, she said.
She came on her motorcycle.
I told her, I said, she's my youngest cousin, you know, she's just cute as a button still. And then there is Miss Susie Peck, who did those beautiful pins that you see. Her son did the drawings.
Are we almost out of those?
There ain't a whole lot left that I have. But Miss Susie's got some. We have to get Miss Susie to get us some out the bucket. And there's some of the district attorney folks, including Miss Pam on the right. You and little Lindsay Hebert. And there you are, Miss Frankie with the Chamber of Commerce here.
That's
Frankie
a good
Bertrand.
picture, both of us.
And then there you are, my cousin Heidi and baby Jack. And there's the group from LHC giving us that nice donation. Brandy Fontenot over to the right. Paula Mills in there. Of course, Mr. Pilgrim there in the back. That's Karen and Mike's son from LeBeau, Louisiana. How you like that, man? Well represented at North part of the parish. And we got Ben Boudreau and Camille, who walks wonderfully, who's gotten a service at the clinic. And on the left, Miss Ladrika Terry, representative
State
for this
representative.
area. Yeah,
right.
So very, very good. And there's Brandy getting a birdhouse from Kelly. Some of those real nice. If you need a good birdhouse, go see Liz Durio's Curios on Highway 182. A lot of Kelly's work there if you're looking for neat stuff. And Miss Idia Boudreau, who's Camille's grandmother. Yeah. And there you are with Cindy Vaillant again, and we're running out of time. You need to find your prayer book. Here are the guys tearing down all the stuff. Matthew, Troy Young, Harry Gabriel all helping, and Noel Bunal, Miss Vicky, and Noel's personal trainer,
Carla, Miss Carla Diaz from Chile, the country of Chile.
And we got the Schultz twins and all kind of folks, the firemen, Miss
Sally Reed, and she's going to help us with the
poker run next year to help
with the
support
Chile. Yep,
right.
Thank you.
And more of the kids with you and the chefs, and I'm just running around. There's Jude, and that's we still got pictures from here. We'll have to get to those next week.
Yeah, next week
next week.
That's Winfield. I don't know how long this will take, but I'll start right now. There's a lot of articles I've read lately on persistence. And in 1953, a fledgling business called Rocket Chemical Company and its staff of 3 set out to create a line of rust-preventive solvents and degreasers for use in the aerospace industry. It took them 40 attempts to perfect their formula, the original secret formula for WD-40. All houses at one time or another uses WD-40, and which stands for water displacement, and the 40th attempt. Wondered how names are coming up like that, and is still in use today. What a story of persistence. Persistence in prayer pleases God. This weekend, please consider attending the church of your choice. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.